Good morning, everybody. Actually, it's evening. What am I saying? Okay, so no, it's afternoon. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It is 12:52 p.m. I saw the p.m. part in my mind, just automatically went to evening. I'm already jumping ahead. I am so busy today, but I'm going to make myself walk twice. So let's just go ahead and get started. Today is day 522, and off camera will be 523. It's February 2nd, 2026, and it is Monday. My mind is somewhere else already. I need to focus. All right, so I do have a quick update. And I don't think I'm going to put the update on the title because I wrote a lot. I think I have like a page and a half, 2 pages or something like that of notes. Okay, so this should take us all the way through the whole 40 minutes. Okay, so just really quick, the movie that I was thinking of that Jason Momoa plays in, where he plays a super funny villain, is Fast X, or also known as the Fast and Furious 10. Okay, so I know on my video the other day, because I didn't walk yesterday at all, that I told you guys that if I remember what the movie was, or if I researched it, then I would tell you guys. So a really good movie, and I think I might have done a review on it already. I'm not quite sure. I think, was that? Oh, that's 14. But yeah, hilarious. And so I was talking about the other day the movie The Wrecking Crew and how it came out this year and stuff like that. So if you want to know like what happened, then just watch not yesterday but the day before's video. Okay, so let's see if we can get this thing up to 2.5. Got some lint here on my sweater. And then I have an item coming, and I'm debating on if I'm going to do a video on it. It's slightly high tech, and me not being that tech savvy, I've watched videos about it. I want to say what it is, but I know that part of the algorithm listens to our videos and places us in certain searches and stuff like that. So I don't want to say what it is, and then people come to the video and like, she didn't show that at all. You know, all she said it was she was going to show the item or trying to figure out how to make a video about it. So I can tell you it plays music, which now you probably understand the obvious issue. And so that, and it has an item that goes with it, but they're not coming on the same day. So yeah, I gotta figure it out. No walk on Wednesday. At least probably not with the video. Just too busy. And then I don't know about the rest of this week, but I can say that we'll reconvene probably in a couple of weeks. I just have a really, really busy schedule coming up this whole next week. So no time to actually walk or record. That's another reason why I told myself, I don't care if you don't have the time today, do the total of the 80 minutes between the two walks. Okay, so we're at 2.3. Sounded kind of iffy. It's making a weird noise. Let's see if I can get it up to 2.5. Okay, so I'm out here late because I ate probably several different things that contributed to my stomach ache this morning. And so it was literally Pepto and back to bed. And we ran out, and so my husband had to go get some. The first dose was like less than half a dose. And so my stomach is like borderline right now. So I am hoping that I can make it through the second walk because I don't have any credit time to use. All right, with that said, as promised, today's topic for the walk is the Triangle TV series. Okay, so this is the one that came out in 2005. It's a drama. So far it has one season with 3 episodes. The cast starts with Lou Diamond Phillips. He plays Mino Paloma. He's a Greenpeace activist and boat pilot. Lisa Brenner plays Helen Paloma, Mino's wife. Eric Stoltz plays Howard Thomas. He is a reporter for a supermarket tabloid and an expert, in quotations, on the Bermuda Triangle. And on Google, it described him as a hardcore cynic and a walking encyclopedia of fringe knowledge. And so if you don't know what that is, I looked it up, and it basically stated that it's a whole bunch of knowledge that doesn't have proven facts. As I guess, I don't know what word I would use, as factual, I guess, if that's a word, as he sounds. So yeah, I was wondering what fringe knowledge is. So if you're wondering, then that's what it says it meant. That's like a sum of the definition from Google. But it sounds like it's true. Okay, so he sounds like super smart. Catherine Bell plays Emily Patterson. She's a skilled deep ocean engineer and resource expert. Bruce Davison plays Stan Latham. Google described him as a deeply emotional, low-key psychic with genuine abilities. Okay, didn't want to spoil that for you guys, but they soon realized that, yeah, he's the real deal. Okay, so Michael E. Rogers plays Bruce Geller. Dude is super hyper. Okay, let me just start by saying that. You have to have a lot of energy to keep up with this character. He is very reckless. He is a thrill seeker. He is an Australian meteorologist / climatologist. I forgot the L, I think. Climatologist. Okay, and then also there's Charles Martin Smith. He plays Captain J. And then Sam Neill plays Eric Bitterall. He's a billionaire. And I'll tell you his significance in a second. Let me go through the rest of the cast. Not the rest of all of them, but just the ones I thought would stand out. Some that they're probably considering main characters. Barry Ingham plays Doug Weiss. I thought that was West, but there's an I in there, so maybe closer to Weiss than West. And he is a government or Navy official, and he is associated with a secret high-tech facility. Okay, so if you want to know where the facility is and what it is, you're gonna have to watch the show. You'll like it, trust me. It's really interesting. At least I found it interesting. Because I asked the same question when I was watching the show. How did they build that? Okay, so Marius Wayers, I'm pretty sure I didn't say his last name right, plays Carl Sheedy. He is a supporting character. And I would have to say his role has more significance than that than to just call him a supporting character. But on Google, it didn't really say like, oh, he's an astronomer or something like that, you know, so. Yeah, but I remember he's pretty significant though. Okay, so Shannon Ezra, let me get some water. Plays Sally Thomas. She's the ex-spouse of Howard Thomas. Annette Kemp plays Tracy Thomas. And from what it said on Google, there's no relation between her and Howard. I thought that there was. Adrian Pierce plays Emily's mother. There's a whole, let's see what I write here. I wrote this kind of fast. I don't know what that word was supposed to be. There's a whole background about Emily and her mother. Okay, and it's kind of semi-important to the show, at least for Emily's character. Okay. Hakeem K. Kazim plays Saunders, and it says that his character is either investigating or covering up the events in the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, so here's the plot. Now, this is going to be kind of weird because what I have here is the summary of the plot, kind of, and then I go into telling you guys a little bit about, like, the first episode. Okay, and believe me, this is not even a fraction of the first episode when I get to the side. Okay, so Eric Benaral, the billionaire owner of a mineral shipping, or not a, okay, so his group of ships, cargo ships, are for mineral shipping lines. So I think that's like the name of his company. Okay, so he hires a team of experts and offers to pay them $5 million each to investigate why his cargo ships and crews are vanishing in the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, so the story starts off with Mino Paloma, who comes home after being gone for 2 or 3 days. Let's do a time check, 11 minutes and 32 seconds. As the only survivor, sorry to spoil that for you, after his boat is destroyed by a mysterious force while he is chasing a whaler near the Bermuda Triangle. When he goes home, he starts to experience unexplained changes in his life. A different colored truck, how many children he has, and other things. He has no one to turn to about these occurrences. Okay, his wife is just kind of like, get it together. What do you mean? And this is not the exact colors, but let's just say when he left, his color was, of his truck was, let's say, blue. And he comes home and now it's red. So she, of course, is like, what are you talking about? It's always been this color. We've always had this amount of kids. And at one point, even suggested that he goes to talk to somebody. And if he doesn't, she threatens to leave. But he is certain that these things are happening. And I was beginning to wonder if she knew, and if maybe, depending on what would explain some of the things happening with the triangle, if there were some type of other beings involved. So for me, she came off like kind of suspicious. It was that smile she would have when she would look at him. It looked innocent. However, something tells me if they make a season 2, I might be right. Okay, I don't know. Let me know if you watch it and if you find Mino's wife kind of suspicious. Okay, so the rest of the story goes on that, like I said, he has no one to turn to about these occurrences other than the reporter that interviewed him, which just so happens to be Howard Thomas, who is a part of the team of experts. He joins the team on their mission when he finds out that they too are experiencing strange events after they go to investigate a plane crash of a commercial jet within the Bermuda Triangle. But was it just a simple crash or a tear in space-time? The show is centered around, the way it was described on Google is the infamous, just because I accidentally said it in, I'm gonna drink some water. I don't know. My allergies are just not good today. I'm starting to realize that's what it is, besides the fact that it's cold out here. And I think walking, the temperature I heated to is not mixing very well with cold out here. But anyway, so yes, the show is centered around the infamous Flight 19, a real incident which occurred on December 5th, 1945. Okay, so at this commercial jet site, they decide, well, one, I don't even know if it's known that they're coming because of the type of craft that they're in, the helicopter, whatever they're in. And so they get there and they see other things. Some of it they share with each other and some of it they don't, because they are just barely gathering any type of information. And so this is the part where they start to realize that the psychic stand, like I said, is genuine. Some of them are having a hard time believing it, and some of them are like, okay, well then what's gonna happen next? And other people are doubting him, but they're seeing this on camera, like they're recording going down into the water. And so I'm just sitting there like, I've met people like that. So if they don't want to believe him, fine. But the more they find, the more he tells them, which they did a really good job in the show of not making it overwhelming. Like, he wasn't standing there or sitting around saying, oops, guess you're gonna need a mop, and having the person look at him and say, oh, that's right, you're psychic, you knew I was gonna drop that cup of coffee or something like that. So it wasn't to like any level like that. It was subtle throughout the whole season. And I think each episode, I forgot to look, I want to say it's at least an hour. And so, yeah, it's just interesting to see. And some of the, I don't know what you want to call them, some of the things that they're like writing out towards on the different things that they're on, submarines, things like that, that they see, I began to wonder if someone has seen something similar and was able to describe it so well that the writers and the producers were able to practically like recreate what they saw. And it looks scary. I know, let me ask you guys this, $5 million, would you do it? My answer is, and I have to keep in mind who watches my videos, I'll just put it this way. HE double hockey sticks, no. Okay? There is no way that I would. And you're like, $5 million? Yeah, no. Because think about it. You have to return. Part of the agreement is that, like I said, they would go. out there. So I thought, how convenient is that? I mean, the guy, let's see, his name was, wrong person. Oh yeah. Okay, so the guy, Eric, that hires him, he has a sincere thought towards this. And he's apparently been having strange things happen to him for a very long time. Just seeing different things to the point to where, I'll just tell you guys, at one point, he won't meet up with certain people. He just kind of shuts down for a little while. And so eventually the experts that he hired are the only people that he'll see. And the problem is that sometimes they'll tell him something and he will just kind of be in denial. And it didn't happen that often, like a couple of times. And my thing would be is, look, you want us to go out there. We have returned, thankfully, on more than one occasion. You're not the only one going through things. We're now experiencing things as well. So why would we lie? And I don't know, I think it's just a tough pill for him to swallow, because he's still dealing with however long he's been experiencing things he's been experiencing. So I could be wrong, but my assumption would be at some point, maybe he was on one of his cargo ships. Somehow he got, I don't know what word to use, but affected by this. And affected, both. So you would think he would believe everything they tell him. I know you trust but verify, but yeah, he's kind of hard to deal with as the show goes on. So we're at 22 minutes and 3 seconds. Looks like I didn't write anything else. I would have to say that it's interesting. I'm thinking back to my other page where I put that it says that it's a drama. And I just realized, because it's centered around the real event, possibly some other events that actually happened, that's why it's not classified as sci-fi. That just dawned on me, so yeah. I know one thing. I was sitting there with a person, and they're like, oh yeah, that's a such and such ship. Yeah, that's that one flight. Yeah, that's this. And myself and this person have a pretty big age gap. And so it was interesting at how much they made these planes and ships look like the actual ones. And then for some of the events, once the year was stated, it was almost like I was sitting there kind of getting more of a history lesson than anything, while we're watching all these crazy things happen to them. I mean, some of the stuff they couldn't turn away from. And I thought, there's no reverse on that boat? Because we would be going in reverse right now. But yeah, they go through a lot. Thinking about the end of the last episode, part of me also thinks maybe there might not be anything else they can do to make a second season. But I guess they could. There's a direction they could go in. So yeah, they could. They could make a second season. But then, I don't know, it kind of becomes, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to give it away at the end of it. And so, yeah, I don't think this is a permanent end to this series, but I could be wrong. So we're at 24 minutes and 52 seconds. Okay, so for the next part, I'm going to go back through, like I have this past week, and tell you guys what I think about each character from what I can remember. Okay, so let's start with Mino, which again is played by Lou Diamond Phillips. He's a really good actor. I'll just start by saying, and I really feel for his character because devoted father to his kids and to his wife, very passionate about what he does, cares a lot about people just in general, and to watch him be right there on the edge of just a total breakdown, kind of like what the billionaire did, I would have to say he did very well of showing where he was trying to balance out, and at points where he did, and then things would just like toss upside down for him again, and he would have to restabilize himself emotionally and mentally. He really got into his character, and so you can tell that he's going through a lot. You don't just see it, you feel it, and you feel for him. At least I did. I was like, man, I don't know how much more my, what we call a psyche, could take if I were to have that happen to me in real life. Now, I can tell you, I would be no boat pilot, okay? I am not, if I can help it, going out on any ocean. A river cruise, maybe, but an ocean cruise, no. I'm that person where at the beach, I would barely go to where the water meets the sand. Okay, so, no, I couldn't. Because as choppy as they made the water look when he was out there on the boat in the beginning, I would have saw that, and I don't know if my take action survival mode side would have kicked in or if I just would have froze. Okay, so I don't know if I would have survived like he did. So I think he did a really good job, and I haven't watched anything that I don't like him in. Okay, so Howard Thomas, the reporter. Eric Stoltz did a really good job playing this character. He was, I would have to say, like I said, some of the stuff, he kind of knew what he was talking about. And some of the stuff, I would have to say, I wouldn't call it, well, I guess, yes, I would, because the definition, instead of fringe knowledge, was that it hadn't necessarily been proven by mainstream, is the word I forgot. And so, like I said, just because the mainstream hasn't proven it, doesn't mean it made him wrong. But it just made him come off like kind of arrogant and just stating facts. Not really a lot of emotion. And maybe as a reporter, you just see so much, you kind of become numb to some things. There were times where you're like, he's not panicking, I would be panicking. And then you think about it, and I feel his character was important because eventually everyone would have to calm themselves down. And he was kind of already there at that point. When, like I said, even if he was running from something, he wasn't like yelling and screaming as much, not from what I can remember, as everyone else. They were 30 minutes even. So I would have to say, even though I was like, every now and then, I would look at him and think, do you care about anything at all? Like, but then I thought about it, and I'm realizing now that that was needed. Because even if you care, you still have to focus. You still have to be what I would say is called, if I'm using this word correctly, a determined person. And that takes pushing your emotions to the side. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not there. You just handle it really well. So I would have to say, thinking back to him, I was a little hard on his character watching it. But I'm realizing they needed that. Okay, so Emily, very, very smart. Also, I guess a part, and I could be wrong, maybe not all, but some, possibly, deep ocean engineers. I would have to say, will probably have the skill of deep diving the way she did. And so she had that confidence that wasn't felt to be thrown in anyone's face. She didn't have an arrogance about it. It was just something that she was able to do. Others might disagree when they see her character, but it was, okay, I'll do this. This is what I do. Simply put, she stood up in a wetsuit and handled her business. And I think that the skill was needed because obviously a lot of it took place in the waters at some point. And so I thought, I did not know. I still don't because I didn't look it up to see exactly what they do, but I didn't really think, I should say, that would be a part of it. I think the most I've seen in like a show or somewhat read about will be like what are they called? I can't think of the name. It's I just had it. If I think of it, I'll come back to it. But they really needed her because for the most part, most of them did not have that skill set. That skill set alone was needed. Okay, so 33 minutes and 10 seconds. I would have to say Stan's Latham, Bruce Davison character, he took a lot. He was deeply emotional. He cared a lot. And he handled the criticism well. And every now and then, he would be like, how can you not believe that? And I told you that before it happened, and it happened. His thing was, and it happened. So, kind of like people were making fun of him somewhat, and it's like, okay, but you saw it. So it would be more kind of like that. And like everyone else, you're going to have to deal with what you saw. And then his thing was, a couple times, we all saw. And so things will be said to him like, well, you're psychic, aren't you? Did you know that was going to happen? And I thought, that doesn't mean that the person can see every single thing that's going to happen. And he's very humble, because he even admits that often at times he's wrong. But for this, so far, he hasn't been. And not to spoil it, but throughout the whole thing, he's not. And so I understand that some people get scared of what they don't understand. But like you said, even though it wasn't a fact when I started off telling you, it now is fact. So you may still be doubting me, but are you going to doubt yourself? So I think he kind of helped pull some of them into the realm of reality. Like, we are trying to explain why these real events are taking place. Because some of this is real, possibly all of it. And so we need to understand it and deal with it, face it. And I don't think he could have put it a nicer way. He was definitely a lot nicer to them saying it than how I even said it just now. I guess because if I were like that, it would be frustrating. I wouldn't want to tell anyone anything. The opposite side is the people getting scared that you know. There's kind of like no one seemed to do this to him, but I'm sure the people that has the gifts that he has have been looked at like, are you causing it? And I don't think he experienced that in this TV series, but he handled, I don't know what words to use, just the criticism very well. Okay, we're 36 minutes, 37 seconds. I already said what I thought about the character Bruce. I don't know what could give me energy. I just felt like whatever it is, I won't say an energy drink because I've only tried those a couple of times. They actually make me really sleepy. After a while, I crash. And so that's why I haven't drank any in a long time. Those 5 hours, I stopped those two. Those weren't a regular thing anyway. But he was draining. He was smart, but he was like on 100 all the time. And I just mean, like I said, like super hyper. And so some of the stuff you want to do, he was that person where you have a plan and he would just go do something. Whether it was planned for him to do that, like he would do it like out of the sequence that it was planned to do. And some things you have to do in steps. So that's what made his behavior kind of dangerous, because they wouldn't be expecting for him to do what he was about to do at that moment. It was planned for him to do it later. And they would be looking at him like, okay, how was this supposed to work if you didn't let us do X, Y, Z first? So he was unpredictable. And in a situation or situations they were in, I don't think that's a good thing, because they already have like all this stuff that's not being explained. They're finding out little by little why this is all happening in the first place and how. So as they're going through trying to get answers, dude, it's just all over the place. And so they have to kind of reel him back in. It definitely took a whole team just to handle him as one person. I don't know where his energy came from. Okay, so Captain J, he very quickly, very early on, became a part of the crew. They hired him, from what I can remember. I don't think that he was going to get $5 million of his own, but if I remember correctly, they were going to pay him from their money. And dude was just down. He just had their back. He had a skill set that was needed, being a captain, and he faced it head on. At first, he was kind of like, wait, you want me to take you where? I don't know if he had been there before and like something, I'm still in one piece, I made it out. You want me to do what? But he understood the mission. And so he was very brave. I really liked his character. Okay, we're at 40 minutes, 1 second. And I would have to say the rest of the people, you guys will learn about them if you want to watch it. So it is called, like I said, the triangle. And the only thing I did was I forgot to tell you where you can watch it. I want to say Netflix and then be wrong. So you're gonna have to research and see if you want to watch it. But definitely, I would have to say grab some snacks, some popcorn, pretzels, whatever you like to eat for snacks, because it would keep you on the edge of your seat. Okay, so we're at 40 minutes, 48 seconds, 1.63 for distance, 175 calories. All right, so you guys, that is it for this walk, and I will see you in the next video. You guys stay safe. I gotta run. Bye.